Hey everyone, it's Timmy. Welcome back to Timmy Reactions, where we react, vibe, and keep it real every single day. Woo! All right, so it's Movie Fridays, and I just got back from watching Superman 2025. We're diving into that today and see how this reboot from James Gunn stacks up from previous Superman films and if it's worth your time during this weekend to watch if you haven't. And yeah, let's get into it. First off, I really enjoyed it. Superman 2025 feels fresh, it's colorful, it's hopeful, and it doesn't drown in darkness like some of its predecessors. James Gunn's touch throughout, it's weird, heartfelt, and kind of chaotic in a good way. David Corenswet as Superman or Clark Kent, I was skeptical at first. I don't even remember the guy from Twisters, but he honestly nailed it. He brings a softer, more grounded version of Clark that's easy to root for. He's not a perfect god, he's vulnerable, he's kind, and he even has a few moments of unexpected humor. And maybe also temper. And also, we have Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan. She was just pure charisma. She brings this smart energy that reminded me of old comedies, probably even of the original movie. And I loved every scene that she was in. And Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, was definitely better than this guy. He gives a committed performance, and the character, although a bit cartoonish, had a subtle menace and psychological depth that was needed, I think. Now, here's what's really stood out for me. The tone strikes a great balance between fun and sincerity. It's not afraid to be emotional, but it never takes itself too seriously. The supporting cast is really strong. James Gunn leans into the strong and some, and it works. Characters like Mr. Terrific, although I was not even familiar of that character, was probably the most vital, played by Eddie Gathegi. Hope that I'm saying that right. Green Lantern or Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, was hilarious in that wig. And Hawkgirl, played by Isabella Merced, was played quite nicely as well. And lastly, Metamorpho is also very good. He brought out some of the emotions in the movie, played by Anthony Cargan. All in all, it genuinely felt that they were not just there as background noise. Each one brings uniqueness to the story. The visuals, while not always perfect, really pop. It feels comic booky in the best way, and I've read reviews saying that it looked and felt like the original animation. I also appreciated the message. There's a subtle but powerful political tone. So truth, power, manipulation, all that, all weaved into the story without ever feeling preachy. And maybe the most memorable moments of all were the scenes with, you know it, the animals. So Crypto, the super dog, was really entertaining and he probably stole the whole movie. And there was also this one scene where Superman stops in the middle of chaos to help a tiny squirrel. It was perfect. Sounds ridiculous, but those scenes with Crypto and the squirrel were actually perfect moments for Superman. It tells you everything you need to know about this Superman version moving forward. Now, it's not perfect, definitely. A few things didn't quite land for me. The plot can feel a bit overstuffed. There are a lot of characters and ideas that sometimes it feels like the film is trying to juggle too much. Some scenes get bogged down in exposition, characters explaining the plot to another character that they should already know. You know how it goes. But it can take you a bit out of the moment. Superman's character arc doesn't evolve much too. Like he's nice, he stands out as compassionate, he's noble and he's kind, but kind of stays that way till the end. And there is no emotional payoff at the end. It feels kind of flat. And finally, some of the CGI during the final battle looked a bit rough. I love all the Superman flying moments though. Now let's talk legacy. How does Superman compare to past versions, especially Man of Steel from 2013? I emphasize that because I went back to my post on Facebook and I had this to say. Don't judge. I also said this. Maybe because I was then comparing it to Superman Returns. But anyway, this Superman had all these elements I loved back then too. Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder and starring Henry Cavill, the grayscale of it all, gave us a mythic, brooding Superman. That version was a bit heavy, with symbolism and emotional burden. Cavill's Superman was caught in existential crisis. He didn't know where he belonged, and much of the story explored how the world might fear someone with that much power. James Gunn, on the other hand, flips it that David Corenswet's Superman is confident in his identity. He's a man with superpowers. He wants to help. He's not asking whether he should be a hero. He already is one and wants to be one. The people around him and the tone of the world are far more welcoming in this movie. There's warmth, there's humor, there's hope, and honestly, even a bit of, I might say, Tom Welling's Smallville in Corenswet's take. Sorry. Welling's Clark Kent was all about growth. He made mistakes. He cared deeply. His journey was about discovering his place through relationships and Smallville community. James Gunn taps into that same spirit, I think. Corenswet feels like a modern extension of that idea, but now fully Superman, but still learning how to carry that weight without losing his humanity. Where Smallville was about becoming Superman, Man of Steel was about being the burden of being Superman. Superman 2025 is about the heart of Superman, not tortured, not worshipped, not alien, just, good. And despite its flaws, I think Superman 2025 is a massive, massive win for DC. It gives us Superman who's kind, brave, and most importantly, relatable. We lost that for a bit. And honestly, that's what this franchise needed. Is it a perfect Superman movie? Maybe not. I still have the original as my favorite, Christopher Reeve forever. But it's a damn good freaking start. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's heartfelt, it's hopeful, and it lays the groundwork for a brighter DC universe moving forward. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments. Did it live up to the hype? Did David Corenswet win you over as Superman? Is Rachel Brosnan the best Lois Lane? And is the Justice Gang
Gang, 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 gang.
the right addition to that movie? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you don't miss any of my next deep dive. I'll see you next week for another Movie Fridays. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.